Why, hello there, friends.
Oh, we lost Carla.
We lost Carla. Oh, there she is. We'll add her back in.
Okay.
And Faith is here too.
But I can't.
Hi, Faith. And with Carla too, we have all our co-hosts. Yay!
Okay.
Welcome everybody to our Advent reading sprints. This is so exciting. I'm so glad we have everyone here. We're going to do some reading sprints for our Advent readathon, He That Should Come by Dorothy Sayers. Some reading sprints for our Advent readathon.
Oh no.
Is there a echo? Technical difficulties. I might have to go get some headphones. Echo. Technical difficulties. I might have to go get some headphones.
Now I do hear an echo. Okay.
Yes. Here, I'm gonna get headphones. Our co-hosts, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I'll be right back. Here, I'm gonna get headphones. Our co-hosts, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I'll be right back.
That almost sounds like there's something else. Yeah. Like playing? Like her phone. That almost sounds like there's something else. Oh, wait. Try coming in.
Oh, wait, okay. I think I'm coming back.
Try coming in.
Oh, wait, okay. But I've got you on both my phone. You can't see my phone. Oh, it's delayed. I've got you on both my phone and my laptop. You can't see my phone.
Oh, maybe it's... Is it on your phone, Faith? Is it playing?
My laptop. It's playing on my phone. I couldn't find the link.
Is it playing?
It's playing on my phone.
Can you try muting really quick, Faith?
It's playing on my phone. There's so many echoes.
Muting really quick, Faith.
There's so many echoes. And there's so many echoes.
Can you mute her really quick, Emma, and see if that solves the problem?
There's so many echoes. What should I do?
Can you, Emma? Can you mute? Oh, Faith, can you mute yourself?
Faith, I think it's on your end.
Can you, Emma? Can you mute? Oh, Faith, can you mute yourself?
Faith, I think it's on your end.
Okay, I don't know how to mute, but I will try. Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, I think I was able to mute Faith.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, what are you going to do? Technical difficulties sometime. Okay, so yeah, Faith, if you want to talk, just give a wave and I can unmute you. Oh, my goodness. Well, yes, thank you all for coming, though, and bearing with us through technical difficulties. You know, it's a good thing that we're going to be reading most of the time, so it won't matter that people are muted because we're just going to be quietly muting. But yeah, hello, Jason. Hello, Tony. We've got some people here. Oh, so yeah, what are you guys all? Is everybody reading the play? What are our plans for our What is everyone's plans for today's reading sprints?
I think I'm going to read because I haven't started it yet. So I think that would be a good plan. This block of time.
Yes, same. I was going to start it earlier, but then Emma mentioned that she was going to start it during our sprints. And I thought, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that too. Because it's not very long.
I've read the introduction. And so I'm technically also just starting it.
Victoria is ahead of us all.
I've only read like Dorothy Sayers, like her intro notes about the play and the production and how she wanted it, which I always enjoy reading because I always think it's interesting, like what her vision was. Like when you do the production, you should do this and stage it this way.
I love that she was so thorough last year for the read along of The Man Born to Be King, reading her notes for like everything she wanted, the way she wanted that radio play to be done. It was just so meticulous. So yeah, very excited. Yeah, I was just thinking how I know we had to schedule this on a Sunday, and Sunday's kind of, a day of rest, church day. But I feel like this could be more like a reading meander. It's not like a sprint, an active sprint. This is a nice time to like a nice Advent, kind of the quiet time to read our lovely Dorothy Sayers play. Yeah, I have it in the 4 Sacred Plays collection. But
Has your
Yeah.
Advent been quiet? Because mine has not. It's been a little crazy, just to be honest.
no, as evidenced by the start of today's live stream, my Advent has not been quiet. But it's been really good still. Yeah, how has everyone's Advent been so far? Let us know in the comments as well.
Before we started, Carla was just like, I hope Faith comes on and shows us her Hanukkah party. So I would love to hear how Faith's is going.
Oh, here. I'm gonna unmute Faith. Hopefully we will not get the echoes.
Downstairs. Wait a second.
All right,
you hear?
Faith. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna walk downstairs. I'm up in my room, but it's chaos. But I'll just go down and show you really quickly. Can you? All right, I'm walking down my stairs. People are here. I don't know who's arrived. My
Sorry to
son,
put you on the spot.
my son is taking the dog for a walk. Thank you.
Very nice.
Here's that. Can you see that? That's our Advent.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
cool.
lovely.
We're also doing Our Lady of Guadalupe big time.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
I'll show you the whole wall.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
Wow.
that's lovely.
Guys, we're online. So here's my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law tonight.
Hello.
We're talking to people. We're doing an Advent read-along of Dorothy Sayers' He That Should Come. But I'm just showing them we're having a Hanukkah party. And so I don't know if I can. So that's the menorah. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, nice.
The 4th night. And I just started ordering something from Israel to help the small businesses and farmers because there's a blockade and they're having a horrible time. So I decorated with all the stuff we just got from Israel.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you can see anything. This is like figs,
We're
olive oil, like so anyway, there you go. And here we are with our authentic law keys.
Nice.
And let's see, where are the? And then the real quick, you can see the Advent wreath, but there are the chocolate gelts, and here are the dreidels. Can you see them? I don't know if you can see these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now I'll go back up. There's my husband. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
So we wear 2 hats here. So
That's so
great.
fun.
and it's wonderful because the more you learn about Judaism, the realer Christianity is, frankly. I mean, it really comes, salvation is from the Jews. And it really is. So I love it. It's just been so enriching. And I really feel more like Jesus. I'm like living the liturgical year that Jesus lived. He
That's awesome.
walked around the temple, during Hanukkah, we know, and that sort of thing. So I have to go down there in a few minutes. I have had a wonderful Advent. I have been reading Luke, and it's just, I love Luke. I just love that gospel. And I've been reading The Lord by Romano Guardini, which is really interesting. And I've been praying the Psalms a lot, and it's just been really, really real. And so I'm just and I was going to go away on retreat last weekend, but I decided not to because my husband's he's going to be in the hospital a lot, and his health has been iffy. I just didn't feel like going away. So, but it's been wonderful. Like I thought I would really miss it, but I don't know. I just feel like just this flow of consolation, and it's been really, really nice. So I've had a wonderful Advent. So anyway, I'm taking up time now because I'm going to leave in a few minutes because I have to go to the party. But I'm going to put this down. So I'm done. So.
Oh no, I'm so glad you showed us. That was so fun to see.
You'll have to do a prayer for peace for us because my Advent has been very chaotic. It has been.
It's been very chaotic.
Oh, here, Jari says she's been reading Luke as well. Going to be reading during the reading sprint.
I love it.
Oh, nice. And yeah, the Jewish teachings, that must be so neat to celebrate both of them, because in that show, The Chosen, I love how they integrate so many Jewish traditions. It's like so great to learn about those.
I love that show.
N.T. Wright. Oh, I didn't know. N.T. Wright, Advent for Everyone. That sounds, I loved N.T. Wright's Paul biography.
Yeah, me too.
So awesome. Yeah, nice to be with family. It looks like you have a great gathering. Thank you for being with us for a little bit.
Yes. I love your buying practices, Faith. I'm always very, I'm admiring of your buying practices.
Oh,
You're very like conscious.
I try because, and I came to that very late in life, but I realized our main function in society right now is consumers. We're consumers. That's what we do. We don't produce very much, we consume. And if you're going to be a Christian, you have to consume with that in mind, right? That's what we should. So I don't do it. I'm so far from perfect, but I do try really hard to be a good Christian consumer, rather than just a consumer. So yeah, and that just came to me like maybe 10 years ago. Like I had this sort of, epiphany. Anyway, I'm going to put myself on mute, or maybe you can put me back on mute.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I'm not, is anyone hearing the echo? I'm not hearing the echo.
No, you're good. Yeah. You're good now.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, so we'll leave it. If there's a problem, we can let you know. But it sounds like the echo solved itself. I don't know what that. It might have been my headphone situation. I don't know what that was.
Victoria, how's your Advent going?
There's nothing calm about my life in December. It's every year. It's because I'm a music teacher, and it's the most stressful time of my year. I basically work all day, many nights. Like it's just, I'm not home like at all. So but like I have like 2 more days of it, and then like everything kind of stops, and then I have a break. So I just have to make it through 2 days of craziness, and then everything kind of slows back down. So it's always like that. So yes, the beginning of Advent brings many mixed feelings for me, because it's a very high stress time for me, but it's also a very joyful time as well. And I'm always happy that the season is here, and also like tense for a while. So I'm coming to the very end of my craziness. So yeah, I'll let you know how Advent is after that.
It's such a short Advent this year too. It's like, because of the way it falls, it's like the fourth Sunday of Advent, and then like Christmas practically. Like it's right on top of each other. When I went to Mass today, I couldn't believe there were only 2 candles on the Advent wreath list lit. I was like, aren't we further along than that?
Same response. It's like, what? Missing one? Yeah.
Yeah, Jason knows. Jason, you know. You know.
Oh, but yeah, we're glad to have Tony here too. We're glad to have everybody here. Thank you all for joining us.
Sayers is a music teacher and the director of music for his parish. That's what he does. Oh. So that's why we had to have it today, because he was busy Saturday, and then this morning this was the only time that he could make it. So that's why it got moved.
Yep.
The music is so gorgeous. Like it adds so much to Mass. And I actually just recently went to my first, I'd been to Latin Mass before, but it had always been low Mass. And this was a high sung Mass. And it was just, the choir was like phenomenal. It was just so incredible. But yeah, then when the music is like spot on, it just is so, it's such an important part. It's so beautiful.
Oh yes.
It sets the mood.
All right. So are you guys ready to start our first sprint?
Yes.
Or first interlude? All right. Should we do like 20 minutes? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sure.
But I'm going to get off at 4:30. So sorry.
No worries. Hope you have a great party.
Oh, thank you.
And thanks for hanging out.
just trying to see. Oh, here's the banner. I'm like, I know there was a way to add a little ticker. Okay, so we'll go until about 4:40, say. Right. Add banner. Okay, there we go.
Can you all hear my family like laughing and talking?
We can hear background noise from something.
Yeah, that's my. They kind of moved the party upstairs. So I'm sorry.
No worries. I mean, I can mute you if you want, but I think it's all good.
Oops.
All right. It's been about 20 minutes. Shall we take a break before our next sprint?
Yeah.
Christy, you look so cozy. And Victoria looks so cozy too. She's even got the cat.
I know my cat was like so happy because I never sit down in the middle of the day, and she's just like, "This is great."
You look so cozy.
Cats love reading sprints.
They do.
So how did you guys? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm on StreamYard's their app for iPad. I don't know if that's why I keep getting bounced out or what, but I don't know. Yeah.
No worries. I know. I keep seeing you fall off and then you pop up again, so I just add you back in. But it's one of those things where like it's a free software, so it's like it's probably unreasonable to.
Yeah.
But it works. Great.
Yeah.
How far did you guys get?
I don't know how this breaks down. They're going to go in the stable. But this is the thing. It wasn't like a stable like that. It was I think it was supposed to be not like an inn, but like a family home, you know, because they were going back to the family origins and their family didn't live there. That was the thing. That was the story. But I guess that plays a little bit more intensely, I guess, than just being full.
Yeah. Well, I always thought it was an inn. Is where it's supposed to be that he still had family in Bethlehem and they were going to the family. I don't think I've ever heard that before. I'm
pretty sure. I mean, it wasn't like
I'm just getting to the scene at the inn with you're hearing all these different conversations about what's happening, and
I was thinking how we were just saying about like Advent was so busy so far, and it's like that feels like exactly a picture of Advent. All these people arriving at the inn, tripping over each other. It's too crowded, just like going shopping, or there's like traffic. Everyone's out and about. Definitely the same kind of energy. Although I loved how it started with the
me too.
The wise men, and very like sort of philosophical and like the way they said it was wisdom, service, and justice. The way they had those three, each of them represented obviously a different thing.
Yeah, I love the language she used in that whole speech. The three kings in their speeches. I was like highlighting all over the place. I was like, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous passage.
Okay.
Strangely are we met, wisdom, justice, and service, following the stars, seeking we know not what.
So I just looked it up, and this is just like first page of Google. So it's what they said is inn certainly existed when Jesus was born. The Romans built extensive road systems linking the empire, and inns were part of the highway infrastructure. But Roman-era inns were typically found along highways between major cities where travelers needed refreshment stops. Once travelers reached a city like Bethlehem, they typically sought local hospitality, as illustrated by the later journeys of Paul. When rented space was needed in a city, an upper room above a house or business could be hired, as Jesus did in Jerusalem for the Last Supper. But it is not likely that the travelers, especially a poor couple like Mary and Joseph, would look for an inn upon arrival at Bethlehem. They would have lodged with relatives. After all, Mary and Joseph were traveling to Bethlehem during a census because Joseph was of the house and lineage of David. That meant Joseph had relatives in Bethlehem. It was his family's native town. It was unthinkable that Mary and Joseph would have sought lodging in an inn rather than staying with family. Although English translations of Luke's birth narrative do mention an inn in Luke 2:7, the translation is rooted in tradition rather than lexicography. The Greek term uses not the word for an inn. And I've also read that they think that the where he was actually born was like there was a tower, like it would have been like where the temple, the location was a temple flock. That's where the Jews for the Passover sacrifice, or not the Jews, the Jews for the the lambs for the Passover sacrifice would have been in that flock, and that the swaddling clothes was, it had to do with the whole temple fence sacrifice to begin with. Tying into that, there's I can't remember the passage, but I think it's Isaiah. There's something about a temple flock, the tower of the temple flock, and they look, and that's where they think he was actually born. It was the tower of the temple flock rather than a stable or something. Yeah.
Crazy. I didn't know any of that. That's
that's interesting. Yeah.
So I think that it was just like that his relatives didn't like Mary because she thought that baby was somebody else's.
Yeah. So that's possible too.
Very interesting.
I do like the way in this play, like Dorothy Sayers. I mean, obviously in this case it's the innkeepers, but when in the one scene when they finally, like, after like Mary and Joseph are so nice when they arrive. They're not at all pushy. Like, we've just seen all of these other people at this crowded inn be super pushy and rude, and here Mary and Joseph are like, who clearly are the ones that need help because she's about to give birth, and like but the innkeepers are like, oh well. We get first it's a no, and then it's a, well, I guess we'll put you in the stable. But they act like it's this big favor that they're doing. I mean, they're innkeepers, but like, I could certainly see family doing that too. Like, if you had like in-laws who didn't like you, and they would be like, well, we're gonna do this as a favor, when it's like they're literally putting you in the stable. But Mary and Joseph are so like patient and just accepting what comes. But yeah, I did love that. The three kings at the beginning was just so like poetic. And it's such a funny juxtaposition to go from these like this poetic, the kings, and then the super busy crowded courtyard, and all the human, sort of bickering and
Yeah, I can see how that would work really well in a play, to have like set the tone, the scene with the three kings and the speeches, like set the tone for the play, and then like, okay, now here's the day-to-day, like here's the action actually starting to take place. So I really like that, almost as like an epilogue to the play.
Yeah.
Yes, so I love the introductory notes that Victoria talked about already reading too. Like, she talks about how it's really intentional to be showing these were real people just like us, in the story. They're not characters, and the world could not have cared less. They were just like, it was happening while the world was totally oblivious to it. So I really feel like she did a good job giving that feeling of it.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Because when like we read it in the Bible, or like, are thinking about it, like it's like the number one thing. But in the context of the moment it really happened in, like the world was just oblivious and going on with its business.
Yes.
What passages did you highlight? I know, Victoria, didn't you mention you were highlighting some? Did anyone else have anything they?
Yeah, let me see. How do I go back to that?
Anyone watching who's been reading along, let us know what stood out to you. But I loved this. Which one is it? Caspar. We build the house of thought, stone upon stone, and just as we have finished the topmost pinnacle, there comes a grinning doubt and pulls away the foundation. One has to assume something before one can think at all, if it is only the validity of one's own thinking, or one's immediate perceptions, or the numerical proposition that 2 and 2 make 4. Give me a single integer, and I will build up the universe, star upon flaming star, and the singing orbits of the planets.
Wow.
I'm not sure. Oh wait, who's talking here? I think Balthazar. I really liked the end of one of his speeches. He's talking about he just wants to know he's not alone, that we're not alone in suffering. We're not alone in seeing the bad things of the world. And he says, this is nothing if only God will not be indifferent, if he is beside me bearing the weight of his own creation. If I may hear his voice among the voices of the vanquished, if I may feel his hand touch mine in the darkness, if I may look upon the hidden face of God and read in the eyes of God that he is acquainted with grief. And that's like exactly that's just a great prelude to obviously like the setting up of Jesus is coming and he's with us and God is with us and we're not alone in our grief and he mourns with us and rejoices with us.
Yeah, I highlighted that one too, actually.
I did too.
That's so
Exactly.
beautiful.
The same parts, the first part and then the skip those. Yeah, and when I read that, I was this week I met with some Afghan Christian. They're Hazara, which is a minority ethnic group in Afghanistan, and they were explaining, what had their history as a people, why so many Hazaras have become Christians, but a lot of it has to do because they've been persecuted as a people for a long time, like centuries. And there was somebody in the call that had a business in Afghanistan, and he's been working for the last 2.5 years. He's been working on evacuating Afghans to Brazil, and he was explaining some of the dynamics of what was going on. And he said that for them specifically, like when NATO came in, everybody was given an equal footing, and so the Hazaras took advantage of that, and they got an education and were in high positions in government, and that they hadn't had the opportunity to do that before. But he said the reason that so many of them have become Christians is because they really identify with the gospel that shows that even in suffering there's still good and purpose. And he said that also identifying with a God that would suffer for them, because that's so much of their life. So it was, I wish I had recorded it because it was so good. It was so good. All of it was really, really good. And I was taking notes, and then my pen ran out.
Oh no! I hate that.
Backups. I was having to back up.
Oh, here Jason says, and not being alone means so much, aside from avoiding loneliness, to know that our experiences are shared and relatable. Yeah, and to know that God himself came and shared our experiences and shared, even the hardest and worst of them.
Yes.
I'm excited to see. Well, I guess I'm excited to see how this unfolds more, because I'm wondering if the three kings will appear again at the end. Like, because I feel like obviously they're all seeking something. They're all like missing something. It's like wisdom and service and justice alone without God. It's like there's something missing if you don't have, like, there's a missing piece. So, yeah, this is a quick, it's going by really quickly. Like, I feel like I'll probably finish it before our reading sprints.
Yeah, it's so much faster than the other one.
I know. Although it's a fun corollary to The Man Born to Be King, because it does feel very much like the same style of like putting you in that moment and making you think what it would have really been like to be there, and that people would have still have been people. And
Yes. She has a real way of rooting you in an experience that's in the Bible. What were you saying? Sorry, Carla.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I think that's probably what makes her such a good theologian, is that she just kind of sees it from the ground. And some theologians are like kind of out here in the abstract, and she just, it's like, the theology isn't worth anything if it doesn't, the proof of it isn't like how it plays out in life. So, yeah, I wonder if she lived in a different time, if she would have been more well known. You know what I mean?
I do feel like she deserves to be more well known. Yeah. The echo is coming back to haunt us.
I know. I feel like at the time she. Oh, am I echoing? Hang on.
I thought it might have been me, but
maybe it was me.
It's probably StreamYard. Like,
And poor Faith, we're over here muting her, and it's probably not even her. It's probably StreamYard. I lost whatever I was saying. Sorry.
Oh, we were talking about Dorothy Sayers being more famous if she had lived in a different time.
Yeah, I feel like at the time she was pretty famous. Like I just read another book. It was like a memoir of a nurse during World War One, and she knew who Dorothy Sayers was. And because she went to Oxford, and she was like, "Yeah, Dorothy Sayers was there," and I loved her. She was, because she knew her detective novels. So I think she must have been pretty well known at the time. But if she was like living now, I think she would have been more so. That would be my guess. Because women are more, I guess, widely accepted as academics and teachers. And at the time, it was more difficult.
Although I wonder if it also is to a certain extent, like just that the time has moved on, and like she didn't write like because like I think of like Tolkien and Lewis. We still talk about them and know them a lot. But then again, they like they wrote Lord of the Rings and they wrote Narnia that have a little bit more of a like pop culture flair to them, and like of course our society today is so secular, and like they're not going to favor a play about the nativity because we're not, unfortunately, very Christian anymore. So I wonder if partly it is that shift too, because like I'm sure there are lots of people who aren't Christian who like Lord of the Rings, but like her is so present in her work that it's like you're not going to read it if you're not Christian. Which is unfortunate, obviously. But like I think she was pretty successful in her time. Like these plays were on the BBC. Like it's almost like she was the director of The Chosen of her time. Like she wrote it. Like I feel like The Man Born to Be King. It was like The Chosen of World War II. And I think it had a huge impact. Last year I remember reading like the notes and everything. That like people talked about it at the time. It was super.
I love that C.S. Lewis loved it. He was like such a fan of The Man Born to Be King. Sorry, I interrupted again.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, maybe it wouldn't have been any different now because a lot of times women aren't really listened to as. I mean, you see the women who have like some strong words to say today, and they're like totally. I mean, and even not that strong. Like Beth Moore, that like always has people going after her. It's like she's like.
That's true.
She's not really not controversial. I mean, I don't think she is. She's not like.
I've heard it's an American problem more so than like a British. Of course, I don't even know how alive the church is in Britain these days. But I've heard that it's more of an American problem that women are not respected as like leaders in churches and stuff. Hopefully that'll be changing though. There seems to be a movement of change for that.
Sorry, excuse me.
Well, ironically, the other thing that they were saying about why they, this is the Hazara Christians, why they were saying what they appreciated about the Bible and Christianity was that how it valued women, and Islam does not. It sees women as property. And I was just thinking today that, the push to force Christianity is usually like very fundamentalist, very complementarian, dismissing women. And so what they're doing and what they're pushing is actually the exact thing that causes a lot of Muslims to reject Islam. And so not only like half the population as human beings, and then you have a smaller segment, that there's only certain men that they value. So it's just, and then they wonder why, and they're worried about the death of the church. Maybe because what they're pushing isn't the actual gospel.
One of the things I like about Catholicism is that I do feel like Mary is so central and is like the perfect ideal of a woman, like a powerful woman. Like it's Mary, there it is, and I don't know, I feel like the reverence that we have in mass and in our prayers to Mary, and like in the saints, like I read St. Louis de Montfort, wrote Total Devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary, and just the way he described it was so beautiful. But I feel like women are valued like as women, as in their uniqueness, in their femininity, not just as, oh, you can be like a man, but like, no, you're a woman and you're unique. And the Mary just embodies that in such a beautiful way, I think, in the Catholic Church. But yeah, Jason says, takes a community and culture to value certain beliefs, to embrace what she wrote. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we do another, say, 20 minute sprint and see how far. Maybe I feel like I'll probably get to the end, but we'll have to see.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so that'll be 5:20. We will check back in. Is this a good spot to stop? Share some thoughts?
Did you finish?
No, not even remotely. I'm only at like 74%.
Me too.
Although, oh, wait a minute. I just realized that I'm reading it from that 4 sacred plays. So I probably am actually near the end. Because I just got to the part where the shepherds came in.
Oh, me too.
So, oh, you know what? I am like 3 pages away from the end. So it was really close.
You want to just finish it?
Oh, you did? You finished it?
No. Do you?
Oh, you
Unless you want to.
Okay. I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
I think I'm in the exact spot you are, I think.
I'm okay just chatting. Chrissy, how far did you get?
I'm still with the 4 kings in the beginning. I'm very slow.
No, that's good. It's good to go slow and take it all in.
I'm highlighting like everything. It's so good.
How far did you get, Carla?
I'm at 74%, so I guess it's they're having the discussion with the Greek gentleman about what the Messiah is going to be, comparing it with the Greek idea of gods, and that was interesting. One of the things I thought was interesting that I actually highlighted and looked up the verse was when the Pharisee was talking about, where did it go? He was talking about what the Messiah was going to come, and basically they were really at least the way Dorothy Sayers portrays it, he's very into getting dominion, right, over their own kingdom, and then making everybody else suffer. Like, and he was really into condemnation of other people. And I googled like that Jesus did not come to bring condemnation. It's actually John 3:17. So like everybody knows John 3:16, but not John 3:17, I guess. But I thought it was interesting the way she portrayed that, like the very legalistic people. It's like very. I mean, I guess it does go hand in hand with condemnation, but also the power, right? Because they probably thought they would be, if the Messiah showed up, that they would be the ones in control of his kingdom. And then when he does, he's like throwing it back at him, like constantly getting into it with them. Yeah.
The presence of the Greek gentleman, and then like the sort of Roman educated Jewish person, and then the Pharisee, like it's such an interesting discussion between them. And yeah, there is so much, I feel like, symbolism in terms of like who's saying what, and what the sort of Pharisee is saying, which is like kind of a, look ahead, because when Christ is grown up, obviously, and is during the crucifixion, the Pharisees are not on his side, even though they're the ones waiting for the Messiah. There is this irony as they're having this whole discussion about the Messiah, what's he going to be? It's like he's being born right next door in the Bible.
Yeah, there's that comment about, they're like, well, if he's smart, he won't be born for a while because he needs to stay out of Herod's way because Herod's doing a great job. Blah, blah. That's funny.
Yeah, the way they were talking about like the Greek, or like the Greek and the like more liberal Jew were talking about how, oh, well, maybe actually he's going to come for everybody, like to because we always call the Jewish man was saying, well, we always call our God the God of everything, so maybe he's going to come for everybody. But yeah, then the Pharisees like, no way. Like, that's a hard no on that one. But it was interesting too, like how they were showing like the good things about like Greek philosophy, but then like the limits of Greek philosophy too. Like when they were right after the Pharisee kind of leaves in a huff, which is so ironic. It's like the Messiah's being born and the Pharisee who is waiting for him walks out.
And he's like, how long, oh Lord? It's like, right now.
Yeah, the Greek, after he leaves, the Greek says, what a very dogmatic person. It must be marvelous to feel so positive about everything. I never feel certain of anything. And then the Jewish, the more liberal Jew says, that is the malady of you Greeks. You are blown about with every wind. Ours is to shut ourselves up tight in tradition and exclude every breath of fresh air. If only we could somehow wed the purity of our religion to the intellectual vigor of your philosophy. which is kind of like, well, that is kind of what Christianity ended up doing. So really interesting.
Mhm.
I feel like anybody like reading this could see like somebody who thinks kind of the way they do. I feel like she has a talent for portraying how different people think and what matters to them, like their values. Like even in the beginning, it's like one of them is he's looking for the ultimate wisdom, the unalterable truth behind and above the appearance. Casper's looking for that. And then another one is like, oh, I'm not really interested in dogma. I want a religion that works, a good government, a reasonable way of life. I don't mind if it's an illusion. That's fine, And the people that you were just describing, I just love how they really are like real people. They're like, yes, I know somebody like that, and I'm like this one,
Mm-hmm. The different expectations of people from the different walks of life.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't necessarily think about what a crossroads this was. Like, it was very cosmopolitan. Like, there was a lot of different people wanting different things with different. It was quite a melting pot, but not quite the way America is a melting pot, because different people had different rights depending on what
Yes.
yeah.
Did you guys get to the part with the songs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I liked that a lot because I was thinking like today at Christmas, like music is very much associated with it. We all have like the Christmas songs on the radio and like the Advent hymns. And of course, obviously the angels themselves were singing when Christ was born, but the way she weaves in other songs too.
Yeah, it's like a pub song. Bread and cheese, bread and cheese. It's hilarious.
But even the ones that they're singing while Christ is born, because they sing like a Jewish hymn and they sing a Greek hymn. I thought those were so interesting, and like the lyrics of them too. I think the Greek one was turn me again, mighty physician, whose hand can harm and heal, and quench, Lord, quench thy heavenly dart, for it doth rive the heart. Which I thought was really so beautiful. And like just the other day, the psalm at Mass was about how Christ will, or maybe not the psalm, maybe it was the Old Testament reading, but it was how Christ will bind every bruise he causes, or God will bind every bruise he causes, which is like such an interesting metaphor. And I feel like it is true of God. It's like at any suffering that he puts you through, like he can work out to your good. And this is kind of, the hand that can harm and heal, quench thy heavenly dart, for it doth rive the heart. I just thought it was really...
I love that.
I like how she dramatizes the Jewish and Gentile relationship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I want to see if I wonder if there's like a recording still of it from the BBC, like there was for the other one.
Yeah, that would be fun to listen to. Or yeah, I wonder if there's any like for all 4 of the plays in this collection. I would love to listen to them.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, go
ahead. No, you go.
I was just gonna say, I know one of the other ones was written on like an occasion, like a dedication of a church or something. So it was an occasion, so I feel like it's possible. The one written about one of them is written like about a church and about the person the architect who built the church. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry. Zeal of the House.
That's so cool. Yeah, it would be fun to try to find a recording or I suppose they had videos back then, but I don't know if they would have. They probably wouldn't have recorded something like a church since it wasn't, they didn't film everything like we do these days. But especially when there are songs in a play, it's always so interesting to like listen to it or watch it, because like hearing the song sung versus reading the lyrics is such a different kind of experience.
Yes. All her detective stories have like the radio plays, I think, are available on YouTube.
Oh, I
I've
didn't
not
know
seen
that.
her.
Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
I didn't know that either. Super cool. Did you guys have any more quotes that you highlighted?
Let's see. That one from the song. Oh, I liked how at one point when they're talking, they quote Eumenides or Aeschylus. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but it's interesting because that's an author, playwright we still read today. But like if you were talking to someone today, you'd be like, oh, it's like something in this book that came out, and so for them, they're just like, oh yeah, that's right, Aeschylus wrote that.
Yeah.
I like those little details that she puts in. I feel like they really make it come alive.
She gives off nerd very strongly. I love it.
In the best way.
Yes, in the best way.
Okay, so one of the things, I've had a lot of the ones that you guys had also highlighted, but I like the one where it's a Jewish gentleman. So I don't know, Philip, sometimes I've wondered whether the Son of God, when he comes, might not fulfill your prophecies as well as ours. The hearts of all men have felt obscurely that God should somehow reveal himself, walk as a man with men. I do not know. Does not. Oh, wait, did you just read that one?
Not the beginning of it, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does not Aeschylus speak somewhere
Oh.
of Zeus that should know human suffering?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So many of the themes, the way they come together is really great. This was so fun to like kind of read it together, I'm almost finished. And I know, Christy, though, you're still kind of at the beginning, so we've been hopefully whetting your appetite.
Oh yes, well,
I've read it before.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
So I'm just happy you're all enjoying it too.
Have you read all of this collection? The Kindle collection? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They're all good. I think there's one that's set during like a bombing raid, and it's set between, I think, when the bomber gets hit and before he dies. I don't remember very well what happens, but the whole play is like set in between that time period. And that one was a little bit strange. The other three, though, I really loved.
Do you have a favorite?
This one's my favorite, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. I plan to read the rest of them. Hopefully this one.
Yay.
I really liked The Devil to Pay when I read that.
Yes. Isn't it great? That was my inspiration for Faustathon. I was like, I want to have everybody read this.
I love it. Diabolical. Everyone must read.
Yes.
The Devil to Pay.
I was really happy to hear that you read it. I was like, oh, yes, I got somebody.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad I discovered it. It's really brilliant. Her like reinterpretation of it is so good.
Thank you for hosting this, Emma.
Yeah,
Super
fun. Thank you to anybody still watching. To Jason, it's fun to hear people's thoughts. Did you guys have any last thoughts before we wrap up?
Okay, so this is just where I ended. I think this is a really great quote. This is the Greek gentleman. This is just after Jesus is born. He says that, and there you are, kingdoms rise and fall, wars are waged, politicians wrangle, trade suffers, poor men starve, philosophers exchange insults and agree in nothing except that times are very evil and mankind rapidly going to the dogs. And yet when one more soul is born into this highly unsatisfactory world, everybody conspires to be delighted. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I like that. Yeah, I like that Dorothy Sayers reminds you that like some things don't change. That like there's always this sort of friction in the world, and there are always going to be people who are cynical. But like, guess what? There is always joy when
Yeah.
there's new life, and
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like life's never going to be perfect, and you can't hold up life just because things aren't quite right. Because I was just thinking that this is like the last week or so, because we just had a recent marriage and a pregnancy, and I'm like, with one of the Afghans, I'm like, okay, because this complicates things. This is more passports, more documents, have to get birth certificates. Oh my gosh, yeah.
We just can't stop it. It just keeps happening.
Exactly.
I love that you're doing that. That's so cool.
I was, last year when we had this, I was just getting started, and I had no idea like what I was getting myself into. And I was thinking, if I had known the things that I would have been asked to do, I probably, ahead of time, I probably would have blocked Mark and changed my phone number. I would have done it. I mean, it's so surreal. It's like I almost feel like I'm in like the wood between the worlds. Like I never know what I'm gonna step out into. Like it's just so bizarre. But I mean, it's been fun. I'm glad I didn't know, because I literally would not have done it. I wouldn't have done it ahead of time if I'd known all of it. But it's still fun. It's fun in a crazy way, but yeah. Not fun in like Disneyland fun, but Although, I'm sorry, Emma, Disneyland is really not that much fun. You have to wait in line. It's super expensive.
Yeah, it's I don't know. If you plan for it, I think the thing is people like the planning for it. That it's like a challenge. So if you're just showing up and you're trying to have fun, that's not gonna really work.
Okay,
all
so
that
it
well.
is Disneyland.
But
it's a challenge.
It's accepting the challenge that is what makes it fun. So I think that's what all Disney planners believe. Although things have absolutely changed, especially in recent years, and like we don't go back as much anymore. And like the Disney company as a whole, I don't really keep in touch with everything there. But at the same time, though, like there is still good stuff there, and and I do still like look back fondly on our trips. And but yeah, it's definitely it's not for a casual guest, really. It is for the
it's just like Disneyland. It's just like it.
Carla, you're talking to the princess here.
Man.
She knows the ways of Disney.
Well, if you can manage Disney, maybe you can get some of our people out. That would be might be a piece of cake.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. Oh, do we want to, Christy? There's another live stream, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Let me see if I can get.
It's December 30th, right?
That's what in your document, Christy. That Christy's so organized. It looks like December 30th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
What day of the week is that? Is it
Saturday?
Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Okay.
I'm so glad you guys all knew.
Well, no, Christy, you were so organized that it was right there. I just had to pull it up in the deck. All right. Well, thank you all for chatting with us. Oh, I thought maybe I meant to open with this, but maybe we'll close with it. Everything at the beginning was so hectic. But there's an Advent prayer that it's actually the Saint. Oh my goodness, I knew this and now it just escaped my head. St. Andrew, St. Anthony Novena. Oh my gosh, I know this, and it's. Well, anyway, it's a prayer that you say during Advent. So I thought maybe we'd just say it to close out, if that sounds good.
Yeah.
It's actually the way the novena works is for the Catholic tradition is that you actually say this prayer 15 times every night from November 30th to Christmas. But we'll just say it once. But if that sounds good, we'll go ahead and do that. All right. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail and blessed be the hour and the moment at which the Son of God was born, of the most pure Virgin Mary, at midnight in Bethlehem in piercing cold. In that hour vouchsafe, O my God, to hear my prayers and grant my desires, through through the merits of our Savior, Jesus Christ, and his blessed Father. Amen.
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 Yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you. I'm sure we'll have all finished by December 30th.
Yes.
But yeah, that'd be nice. This has been, thank you for recommending this, Christy. This is a great Advent read.
Thank you for agreeing to read it with me. I mean, it's like reading one of my favorite authors with my friends is like, I have to thank you guys. Thank you.
Well, I have to thank you for introducing me to Sayers because I had not read her before meeting you. So thank you. I love her.
Is this the third Advent read-along we've done?
Is it always? Oh yes, because we did Letters to a Diminished Church.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
okay.
That was the first one. That's right. Yeah.
We have a tradition going.
I know.
My
it's
mom's
great.
here. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Melody.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna. I'm sure we'll, because we're already thinking about Lent. So on our finale, we'll have to talk about our Lent reading. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a really lovely evening, and thank you everyone who tuned in, and thank you to our co-hosts. And have a blessed Advent, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Emma.